You've been connected to the DedSecCast. Enjoy the show.
Welcome back to episode 6 of the DedSecCast. My name is Brad, aka UbiCentral, and joining me today is my very attractive and brilliant co-host, Afty.
Hey Brett, what's up, man?
Not much, but you know what's awesome?
What?
We finally have news, and I can't believe I'm actually saying that because, correct me if I'm wrong, we haven't had any news since the first episode, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so that's pretty insane. But before we give our thoughts on that image, I just want to quickly say feel free to skip around the show using the timestamps in the description down below, because we do have some very good questions towards the end of the show as well. Alright, so if you haven't seen this image yet, where have you been the past week? And more importantly, why aren't you watching my videos? No, but seriously, if you haven't seen the image, I'll put it on the screen right now. Just to give you a bit more details to go along with it, actor Court King uploaded this photo to his Instagram with the caption, "Had a blast doing motion capture work as the lead character in a new video game series, #Watch Dogs 2. So, Aftermath, let's start with you first. What are your general thoughts of this character?
I like the design they're going with. It has similar designs to Aiden and the hat and the bandana, which is similar to Aiden's. What did Aiden wear? He was like a scarf, wasn't it? That he used.
Yeah, well, it was kind of like a bandana too.
Yeah.
And his pistol, like this guy has.
Yeah. Depends on the outfit that he chose. But I like that he looks quite different from Aiden, yet he still has similar design aspects, which kind of links it in to making it the same series, so he's easily recognizable as being a Watch Dogs character, protagonist, while also being somewhat unique. I like it.
For me, I have to say, he kind of looks a bit hipster, but to be fair, he does look like a hacker, and I would even go on record saying, like, way more than Aiden Pierce did. But for me personally, Aiden did look way more like badass. But honestly, I'm okay with this character just like you are. Obviously, we only have this one image to go off of, but yeah, he looks pretty cool to me. And now a lot of people have been saying this is Jackson Pierce, and I don't know why. Because if you look at the actor or this image, you can see that his skin color isn't white. So I'm not really sure why people are speculating that it would be him. And don't get me wrong, it would be cool to play as Jackson, but I just don't think it's him. Personally, I think it's a brand new main character that isn't related to any of the past Watch Dogs characters, but I could be wrong. You never know.
Yeah, like, if it is Jackson, it would have to be jumping forward in time, like a whole bunch of years. So he's, like, old enough.
Yeah, I mean, but that still is kind of possible.
It's kind of possible, yeah. Like, one of the things that a lot of Ubisoft games right now have been doing, especially Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs, is they've been trying to line themselves up with the current year. Like, Watch Dogs was set, well, it was delayed, so it wasn't quite, but it was set at the same time it was supposed to be released. Same with every AC since AC3. So if they did decide to go with Jackson, then it would be quite a departure from that. And it's possible that they do decide to do that, but I don't think that's what it sounded like, and I felt that after seeing Watch Dogs ending, where it has like CTOS 2.0 coming next year, I felt that it was going to be in the next year. Of course, that could have been like a red herring or just something they didn't even think about. That's possible, but I don't think so, really.
Yeah, that's actually true. I never really thought of it like that. Like, they did tease the CTOS coming out next year, and like they're expanding in different cities. But yeah, for me, this doesn't feel like it's Jackson, and if it does line up with the timeline, like you just said, obviously it wouldn't be him either. I'm just hoping we get, like, Easter eggs, like maybe Aiden's in a cutscene or something, like he calls you on the phone, or you see him on TV, or something like that. Just, you know, a cameo.
Yeah, kind of like with when we played as T-Bone in Bad Blood, how he just called up Aiden once. That would be a cool inclusion if we could just like talk to him for a bit on the phone as we're driving somewhere. I think that would be cool.
Yeah, so those were our thoughts on the image. I'm definitely excited to see more of this character, which I think it's safe to say will be at E3 next month. And if there is any more news before that, we'll definitely talk about it on the show. But with that said, we won't be doing Fixer Contracts again, but please keep submitting your questions in the comments. Remember, for Fixer Contracts specifically, we want yes or no questions. So should Aiden return in Watch Dogs 2? Things like that. Also, I'm hoping to have a very special guest on next week, but I'm not confirming it's 100% going to happen. So if it doesn't, don't hurt me. All right, Aftermath. For the first question, what is your favorite mission in Watch Dogs?
So I had to think quite a bit about this, and I was thinking maybe the last mission, but like that's the final mission where you are like being chased around the city by Damien, and he's like activating all the stuff as if you were playing in the mobile app. But that kind of just stands out to me simply because it was the final mission. But I think the one I had a ton of fun with was the bunker mission, where we first unlock the bunker and we go to the island and there's this mystery and you're unlocking it by parkouring around the place and hacking things. And it's the first time you really stretch your hacking muscles and really kind of use everything the game gives you. And then you come in and then you finally see the bunker in all its glory. And that was a really cool moment. I had a lot of fun playing that mission and unlocking the bunker. So that was what came to mind for me.
For me, like I actually did a walkthrough and I got up to that point. I didn't finish the walkthrough, unfortunately, but I did get to that point. And that mission just made me so mad because I could not figure it out, like how to unlock something. And I was just like sitting there for like 10 minutes. I'm like, I can't figure this out. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And it was so complicated. So yeah, I do have to agree with you there, how it did use like all the hacking stuff and it was more complicated than other missions. It really made you think, and at the end, you did get a really cool hideout. For me, I would have to go with the first mission, and don't get me wrong, I know it's a tutorial mission, but for me personally, it kind of overshadowed most of the other missions because you're in a stadium, you cause a blackout and escape from the police. And not to mention, you also meet Jordy Chen for the first time. Literally, the worst part about that first mission was when it ended. And just a random side note, I hate the fact that you couldn't go back in the stadium after it was finished. You could just tell how much work Ubisoft put into that first mission and the stadium. And then after it ended, yeah, you couldn't go back. And how cool would it be to go back later in the game and just sit and maybe watch a baseball game or something? Actually, it probably wouldn't be that cool if you're not into baseball, but still. Yeah, so I would have to say the first mission.
So now, Brett, I have a question for you. What did you think of Watch Dogs' ending?
I loved Watch Dogs' ending. More so because of the very end where Maurice was sitting in a chair and you had the choice to kill him or, you know, just let him be. Also, spoilers, but I mean, come on, the game's been out forever. And like, that's what the whole game was kind of going for. What kind of vigilante are you? This guy killed your niece. He didn't order the hit, but he still pulled the trigger. And I just love the fact that you got to choose his fate at the very end. And I'm not going to say what I picked because I love you guys. No, but seriously, I played this game like 4 times, so I've done both of them. But going back before that scene, you meet Damien in the lighthouse and Jordy Chen comes out of nowhere, almost just ruining everything, like all of your progress, but you end up throwing him off that railing and then shoot Damien right in the head. And I sort of liked that moment and I sort of didn't. I did want to shoot Damien. I hate how you didn't have the option to choose his fate though, like you did with Maurice. And I know he had a gun pointing at you, but that's where the game kind of flip-flopped for me because the point of the game was to play how you wanted to, be the vigilante you wanted to, and to only have that option of killing him was a bit disappointing. Again, I still would have shot him, but right after that, they give you the option with Maurice, so that kind of bothered me a little, but overall, I really enjoyed that last mission.
That's an interesting point, actually, with the whole Damien thing, because I actually really enjoyed that part of it, and I shot Damien in his fucking face as soon as I fucking saw him, and I could.
Well, we all had to.
Well, yeah, but, like, I was, like, spamming the trigger for, like, the entire time to try and shoot him as soon as I could, and when it finally let me, he was just like, and I killed him. Really good. But I really liked that reveal from Jordy and how he showed up, and then how we pushed him off the rail, and then he was gone. I really liked that. It added a bit of air of suspicion to the ending. That part of the ending I really liked, and I liked how Aiden called up Geordie afterwards again and was like, no hard feelings, because that really showcased his relationship with Geordie throughout the game and how it was really just business, and how they can still be acquaintances, if not friends, after all the craziness. And with Maurice, I've played through the game 3 times now, so I've done both as well. But the first time I just shot him in his fat face.
Fat face? He's not even fat.
Well, okay. Yeah, so I shot him in cold blood, and then I walked away. And it was pretty good. I pretty much regretted it afterwards because Aiden was like, what have I become? And I was like, wow, Aiden, I didn't realize you were going to give me a monologue about how evil I am. So the next time I let him go, and that was quite a bit better.
Also, you kind of brought this up for the last question. The ending mission too, right before that, like the encounter with Damien and everything, he's controlling the CTOS and like he's blowing up everything and you had to go in. What was it? You had to go and like go to certain locations and disrupt the CTOS or something like that to cut off his power?
You're trying to like reset it so that you could cut off his power, and then you had to go to Bloom HQ, and then you had to cause the citywide blackout, which like shut down his connection permanently.
Yeah, and that was a ton of fun, and it was very intense. I remember he kept messing me up with the stupid steam pipes. Like, I knew they were coming. I still drove straight into them for some reason. But yeah, you had so many like things happening in that final mission, and the cutscenes afterwards were, you know, I don't know, felt so rewarding after you just did all of that stuff. And yeah, I really did enjoy Watch Dogs. And again, I love that option that you had where you can shoot him or just walk away. But unfortunately, the reputation system wasn't that good. But I think we'll talk about that in a later episode.
Yeah, that final mission was crazy and a lot of fun. I had it really stuck with me. And the whole driving around the city while he was activating everything, it's very reminiscent of how the mobile app interacts with the game and how you can activate the pieces, the hacking pieces, stuff. And it was cool. It was really intense, a really tense situation, and I think that they pulled it off really well. And then that final pulling the trigger on the blackout, seeing the whole city go dark was really cool.
Did you enjoy the first mission a lot too? Like, would you say that's in your top 3 or top 4 missions?
Certainly most memorable, yeah. I would say.
Like, the game started off so strong, and then it finished so strong too. But yeah, continue. Yeah,
I enjoyed my time with that final mission, the first mission and the final mission actually, and they both really stick out to me. It actually took me some time to think of what other missions from the game I could think of.
There's the default mission too.
That was the other one I was gonna say, especially the one in Bad Blood. The one in the default mission, the default missions in Bad Blood were so good, even better than the base game's default
Definitely.
missions.
For me, like in the base game, after killing him and then seeing him in Bad Blood, I was so confused at first. I was like, wait, what? Like, didn't we kill him in the first game? And then they said like it was an imposter, and yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Bad Blood, definitely, if you haven't played it, it does have the better default missions, and it's a good DLC. Again, I said this last episode or 2 episodes again, they should have made like at least one more DLC.
Yeah, well, yeah, I agree.
I love you. Aftermath, do you have anything to say before we go?
My prom was last night.
Oh.
So that was cool. Which is why I'm all tired.
How was it?
It was fun.
I remember seeing you tweet about it, like you were excited.
Well, I was more nervous than excited, but it ended up being a ton of fun. And now I'm really tired. Next day.
Did they play Taylor Swift?
No, they didn't actually play any Taylor Swift.
Oh,
I was surprised, and I was saddened by that. But we got some Justin Bieber though, and Darude Sandstorm was played.
Oh
so.
Wow, that seems like a ton of fun with Darude Sandstorm. I don't know about Justin Bieber though. No, yeah. I kind of like his new album, but what are we even talking about anymore?
I don't know.
All right.
This has been the DedSecCast. I'm Aftermath, aka Nick. He is UbiCentral, aka Bratz, and we'll see you all next week for more Watch Dogs goodness.